Because of a slight mistake, everything changed for her. Let's find out what happened next. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more of our latest movie stories. One morning, a young man named Alfred got dressed and prepared to leave for work. On his way out, he greeted his girlfriend, Cynthia, who insisted he eat something first. But Alfred declined, saying he had an urgent business meeting. She wished him luck as he hurried off. While driving, Alfred received a call from his friend, who wanted to discuss something important. Alfred explained that he had a crucial business deal and promised to talk later. Shortly after ending the call, he realized he had forgotten some important documents at home. He quickly called someone at home, asking them to print the documents and meet him outside. As he arrived and collected the documents, a lady accidentally splashed water on him. Angry and frustrated, Alfred slapped her, which led to a public scene. The lady held onto him tightly, crying as a crowd gathered. People stepped in to separate them and scolded Alfred for his actions. Embarrassed and angry, he left while the woman sobbed in front of everyone. On the road again, Alfred received a call from his office. A staff member informed him that the client had left after waiting over 30 minutes. Furious, Alfred parked and lashed out on the phone. After ending the call, he sat there, overwhelmed and frustrated by everything that had gone wrong. At home, Cynthia was even more upset. She insisted Alfred take her to confront the woman who had caused all the trouble. But Alfred stayed silent, burdened by the fact that he had just lost a multi-million-dollar contract. Meanwhile, the woman ARIA was at home, crying over the assault. It got worse when a group of thugs sent by Cynthia showed up and beat her. Her friend and young daughter comforted her. Just then, ARIA received a phone call. It was a company responding to her job application. They offered her a position as a house help. Her mood instantly lifted. That same day, while Alfred remained depressed, Cynthia bragged about sending people to attack the woman. But Alfred, devastated, told her that beating the woman wouldn't change anything. The deal was gone. All his effort was wasted. Cynthia, still unreasonable, said they should go back and beat the woman again. Disgusted, Alfred walked away and went upstairs, trying to hold himself together. The next day, ARIA arrived at her new place of work with her daughter, only to realize it was Alfred and Cynthia's home. Shocked, she tried to leave. But Alfred received a call from the agency confirming they had sent the house help. He suddenly acted friendly and persuaded ARIA to stay and accept the job. Confused, Cynthia watched the entire scene unfold, struggling to understand Alfred's sudden change in attitude. Alfred simply told her, "I know what I'm doing," as she reminded him that this same woman had caused him to lose a $1 million contract. Later that day, ARIA called her friend and explained everything. She couldn't believe how Alfred, despite everything, was now acting kindly toward her. The next morning, during breakfast, Alfred and Cynthia complained about the food ARIA prepared. When ARIA came in, Alfred rudely told her she smelled bad. She denied it, but he wasn't satisfied and even threw the food in her face. Cynthia, fuming, yelled at both of them and demanded ARIA leave immediately. ARIA walked away in silence. That night, while ARIA and her daughter tried to sleep, Cynthia stormed into their room, furious. She yelled at them for using the air conditioner and declared that they were not allowed to touch any equipment in the house again. As Cynthia left, ARIA's daughter turned to her mother and asked, "Who is my father?" But ARIA, overwhelmed and hurt, remained silent. The following morning, Alfred came into the living room and found ARIA's daughter asleep on the couch. He rudely woke her and warned her not to sleep there again. ARIA arrived shortly after, and he scolded her too, saying the child should be taken to her father. But the girl responded quietly, "I don't have a father." Enraged, Alfred insulted ARIA, calling her irresponsible, before storming off. Later that day in their room, ARIA's daughter, Kira, asked her mother why they were being treated so badly. ARIA struggled to respond, overwhelmed by her daughter's questions. She eventually brushed it off, warning Kira to stay out of the living room and away from their space. But the little girl persisted, asking where her father was. ARIA, lost for words, remained silent. That same day, Alfred's girlfriend Cynthia intentionally poured water on the floor and called for ARIA. When ARIA arrived, she slipped and fell, hurting herself. Cynthia, acting harsh and unkind, mocked her and demanded she take her clothes to wash. ARIA quietly picked them up and left, Later, while Aria was washing the clothes, Cynthia approached again and scolded her for washing them with her bare hands. Aria answered back, which led Cynthia to slap her. Aria almost retaliated, but quickly held herself back. Cynthia then ordered her to sit on the floor and continue washing. Then she left. During dinner, while Aria and her daughter were eating, Cynthia stormed in again and bullied them, tossing their food to the ground before walking away. Aria was left feeling humiliated and overwhelmed. The next day, Aria and her daughter came to the living room and pleaded with Alfred and Cynthia for forgiveness over everything that had happened. But neither of them showed any sympathy. Alfred told her to leave. Later, while Aria and Kira were singing together in their room, Alfred barged in and insulted them with hurtful words, then walked away. Kira, feeling broken, told her mother how mean Alfred was. Aria tried her best to comfort her daughter. The following morning, Cynthia was eating when Kira kindly offered her a glass of water. Some spilled on the table, and Cynthia slapped the child, ordering her to kneel. Aria rushed in to defend her daughter, but Cynthia shattered the glass on the floor and shouted at Aria to take her child away and to remove her shoes while doing so. As Aria walked barefoot, she stepped on the broken glass, cutting herself and bleeding on the floor. She cried in pain while her daughter tried to console her. That evening, Aria sat in her room crying. Her daughter, upset, urged her to leave the house immediately. But Aria explained that she had signed a contract and couldn't just walk away. She hugged her daughter in tears. The next day, Aria's friend called, urging her to return home and resume her pure water business. But Aria insisted she had the situation under control, though her friend remained deeply concerned. Later, Cynthia seized Aria's phone and scolded her for inviting a friend to their house. Aria pleaded, but Cynthia ignored her and walked off. The following day, Alfred's close friend had a chat with Kira. Alfred walked in and rudely sent the little girl away. His friend questioned his harshness, but Alfred replied that he was still upset with the girl's mother. They left it at that. Later, Aria approached Alfred about her incomplete salary, but Alfred insulted both her and her daughter and dismissed her coldly. The next day, Aria prepared a meal. Alfred and his friend ate and enjoyed their conversation together, laughing and chatting. Meanwhile, Cynthia was in her room, thinking about how to talk to Alfred about taking their relationship to the next level, since they had been together for over 4 years. The following day, Alfred's close friend opened up to him. He was devastated after learning that his own girlfriend couldn't have children. They had just gotten the results from a hospital test. Alfred comforted his friend, and they talked deeply about it. At the same time, Aria confided in her friend about everything she had been enduring in Alfred's house. They had a heartfelt conversation about her struggles. The next day, Alfred's close friend was at his house again when Kira approached him. They had a lovely time talking together until Cynthia arrived, interrupted them, and sent the little girl away. Then she continued her conversation with Alfred's friend. Later that day, still dealing with his emotions, Alfred's friend expressed his disappointment in women and claimed he would never marry someone who hadn't given him a child first. They discussed the matter at length. That night, Alfred spoke to Cynthia and told her he wanted to take their relationship to the next level, but he first wanted her to have a child with him before they planned a wedding. Cynthia was offended and walked out. The next morning, Cynthia entered the kitchen. Aria greeted her politely, but Cynthia snapped and stormed out. Aria's daughter made a rude comment about Cynthia, and Aria quickly corrected her, telling her not to speak disrespectfully. Later that day, Alfred called Cynthia to share some good news. He had secured the long-lost contract. He asked her to return home. That evening, Cynthia came back, and Alfred explained again that he wanted her to have his child before marriage. After discussing it together, she finally agreed. They had an intimate evening. Months later, Alfred's friend visited and gave Kira a small gift. When Kira showed her mother, Aria scolded her for taking things from strangers and insisted on seeing who gave it to her. But the man, Williams, had already left after receiving an urgent call. Aria rebuked her daughter once again. Meanwhile, Alfred confided in Williams that his doctor had given him terrible news. Cynthia couldn't have children due to multiple past abortions. After a serious talk, Williams advised him to break up with her. Back at home, Alfred confronted Cynthia with the truth. He was angry and decided to end the relationship. But Cynthia, unapologetic and bitter, warned him that he couldn't just dump her. He walked away. Later that day, Cynthia called Alfred again, furious that he was ignoring her. She threatened him, vowing that he would regret ever leaving her. That night, two robbers broke into Alfred's house with the intention of stealing from him. As they headed upstairs, Aria's daughter spotted them and shouted, "Thieves!" Her cry alarmed the household and scared the robbers off. The next morning, Alfred told his friend Williams about what had happened. He acknowledged that it was Aria's daughter who raised the alarm, and because of her, the robbers didn't succeed. Williams advised Alfred to forgive Aria and her daughter and start treating them with respect. Alfred gave it some thought. Later that day, Alfred returned home from work and saw Kate, Aria's daughter, sitting on a chair. She quickly stood up out of fear, but Alfred gently told her to sit back down. He apologized to her for how badly he had treated her and her mother, and even offered her a gift. When Aria entered and saw her daughter sitting, she asked her to stand, but Alfred stopped her and instead apologized to Aria too. He promised that from now on, he would treat them both with respect and kindness. Aria was surprised by his change of heart. Then Alfred walked away. The following day, Aria excitedly shared with her friend how kind Alfred had been lately. She also mentioned that he had plans to enroll Kate in school. Her friend was happy for her, and they discussed it joyfully. That night, while Alfred and Kate were watching TV, Aria came in and told her daughter it was time for bed. After Kate left, Aria and Alfred sat together and continued watching TV, enjoying each other's company. The next morning, Alfred went to Aria's room. He asked Kate to excuse them, then sat with Aria to talk. He told her he had feelings for her and suggested they could be more than just employer and employee, maybe even friends. Aria, feeling overwhelmed, couldn't find the words to respond. Alfred told her to take her time to think about it. Later that day, Alfred and Williams were having a conversation when Aria walked in and was shocked to see Williams. Alfred, surprised by the tension, asked them both to sit down. Williams then revealed that he once had a relationship with Aria. But Aria tearfully confessed that Williams had actually raped her and denied responsibility for her pregnancy, even insisting she get an abortion. Alfred was stunned and moved by her confession. He comforted her. Williams, full of regret, also broke down in tears, ashamed of what he had done. Days later, Williams called Alfred and demanded custody of his child and a chance to get Aria back. But Alfred firmly told him that Aria was now his woman. However, if Williams wanted to be part of his daughter's life, he wouldn't stop him. Then Alfred ended the call. The next day, Williams came to Alfred's house and confronted Aria, apologizing for his past actions. But Aria was still very hurt and asked him to leave. Alfred witnessed the exchange and warned Williams not to return again. That evening, Kate asked her mother if Williams was truly her father. Overwhelmed, Aria lied and gently told her to go to sleep. The following day, Williams called Alfred again, pleading for a chance to have Aria back. But Alfred stood his ground, repeating that Aria was now his woman. That evening, Aria sat alone, troubled and deep in thought. The next morning, Aria met with both Williams and Alfred. She thanked Alfred for everything he had done for her and her daughter. Then, with great difficulty, she explained that she had to do what was best for her child. Since Williams was Kate's biological father, she believed it was right to go with him. She also said she didn't want to have children with two different men. Alfred, though heartbroken, understood her reasons and gave them his blessing. He shook hands with Williams and wished them well. Afterwards, Williams apologized to his family for everything he had done, and they forgave him. Days later, he gave Kate the clothes he had bought for her, and they began bonding as father and daughter. Later, Williams assured Aria of his love, promising to prioritize her and her daughter. Slowly, they started rebuilding their relationship. So guys, if you enjoyed this emotional and powerful story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for more of our latest stories.